Hi, this is John Patrick Hickey, and welcome back to our talk specifically geared to some of my young viewers. And we're talking about things that you can learn as a young person, hopefully from a little bit from an older person. So, I've been asked many times, especially by young people, and, I've had a lot of dealings with young people, and they'll ask me, what's a good example of a young person? What can I read that'll give me some guidelines of what I should do? And I think that the best place to look at, especially for young people, is in the Bible, in the New Testament, is the letters to 1st and 2nd Timothy. Who was Timothy exactly? Timothy was a young man. His father was a Greek, his mother was a Jew, and Timothy was raised, in a sense, in the faith. The video before this, we talked about the testimony. Timothy was one of those young people who grew up in the faith, and he was, in a sense, a disciple of Paul's, and he followed the Lord. He did not get into a lot of pagan worship of the time. He was a godly young man, and he was mentored by Paul. And even as a young person, he was placed in a position of authority, like a pastor of a church. And he was somebody who strived to do what was right. And one of the things that Timothy had to face with a lot of misinformation. And in our next video, we're going to talk about the lies that he had to deal with. But right now, I just want you to focus on who Timothy was. So I suggest that you get a Bible, you look through, and they're short chapters. I mean, they're short books of the Bible. So just read through 1st and 2nd Timothy. See what Paul is saying to him. Read it as a letter, because that's what it is. It's a letter. And put yourself in the place of Timothy. And this is information that you're getting from your mentor. This is information that you're getting on how you should live and how you should help others to live. You see, a lot of times young people think, nobody cares about what I think. Nobody's going to listen to me on what I should do. And Paul addresses this because it is important that you live a life that is an example to other people, because you can change everything. Young people have more influence than they think. And you think that influence means that you're going to do something big. You're going to create something big. You're going to be a person of power and authority. And that's not true. The biggest impact that a person has is the example that they put. The biggest impact that we have is how we affect the world around us and the people who are around us. Read those books, 1st and 2nd Timothy, and you'll get a good understanding of who this young person is. And believe me, this may have happened, a long time ago, but people are still the same. People are people. And what made people happy still makes people happy. What made people sad still makes people sad. The difficulties in life were always the same. The pleasures of life are always the same. That we think of history in the sense that times past were a whole different experience. And in some ways they were, in as far as maybe some conveniences, but when it comes to the human condition, it wasn't any different. Humans have been the same throughout history, and you can learn a lot from Timothy. But when we come back in our next video, we're going to talk about the most important thing that Paul emphasized in his letter to Timothy. Until then, for the Growth Center, this is John Patrick Hickey, and I do want to encourage you to live your purpose and change your world.